Greetings and welcome to the Astronomy Picture of the Day podcast. Today's picture for September 2nd of 2025 is titled The Horsehead and Flame Nebulas. So what do we see here? Well, here we see a region around the constellation of Orion and a couple of different nebulae here, and in fact prominent ones. And a well-known one off to the right-hand side is known as the Horsehead Nebula. And it gets its name for its distinctive shape, such as the knight from a game of chess. And we can see that horsehead here. Now, the horsehead is darker area, and that is a dusty area. So it actually lies a little bit in front of the rest of the red glow. So if you could somehow remove that, you would see that red glow is pretty nice and smooth there. But the darker dust then blocks out the light from behind it and shows it there, and we see that kind of silhouette of the dust in front of what is called an emission nebula around it, which is the red and orange glows that you see around this image. Those occur when hydrogen is ionized by a hot star that rips off its electron. And then as they recombine, it will go through various different energy levels. One of those gives off a distinct red shade of light, and that's what we see here. Now, the other nebula that we see here is the Flame Nebula off to the left-hand side. And that is, again, another emission nebula with other dark, dusty patterns. But the difference with that and, say, the Horsehead Nebula is that maybe we don't see any immediate pattern, or maybe the pattern is that of a flame and not the same type of pattern that we saw previously. Now, the patterns in all of this are really completely random. They don't look like anything. It's only our mind that wants to put some kind of sense to the random patterns. And so, just as we look at with clouds in the sky here on Earth, we can see random patterns within the nebulae here out in space. And our minds try to put some kind of sense, something familiar, perhaps, to not just see completely random patterns. Now, the other thing labeled here, there's one third object that was labeled, and that is Alnitak. That is the star up towards the top. That is one of the bright stars in the constellation of Orion, and is the leftmost star that we see in Orion's belt. Now, it is a very massive star, about 30 times the mass of our sun, and it gives off a lot of ultraviolet light. That ultraviolet light will then be what ionizes the gas around it. So, Alnitak there is actually responsible for causing a lot of the nebulae around it. The great energy that it emits is enough to energize all of this gas around it in this region. So it really only takes a couple of really bright, really massive stars that are emitting a lot of that ultraviolet light to give us the nebulae that we see here today. So that was our picture of the day for September 2nd of 2025. It was titled The Horsehead and Flame Nebulas. We'll be back again tomorrow for the next picture, previewed to be Starjet. So we'll see what that is about tomorrow. And until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.